What's up, guys? This is Sam Talks About Games, and today I'm going to be talking about what kind of games I see being announced for Switch and Switch 2 in the next year. You know, I'm sure most people here expect Switch 2 to release in 2024. Most people in general do. There's a lot of signs pointing to it. Switch sales are on a sharp downward trend. There's some hints being given with third-party games, a bunch of insiders like VGC, Eurogamer, Nate the Hate, Jeff Grubb. Everyone's saying 2024, right? There's really no indications towards 2025 otherwise, unless you believe Furukawa's comments. But yeah, moving forward, assuming a Switch 2 releases in 2024, my guess is sometime in the summer, maybe early summer, maybe late summer. I think our window for Switch 2 is June to September, somewhere around there. So yeah, I want to talk about what kind of games could be coming to Switch and Switch 2, because there's going to be games coming to Switch as well. And I'll start off with some of the last Switch games I could see being announced. I could see there being, considering Luigi's Mansion 2 is next year, the remaster. I could see a Luigi's Mansion 1 Shadow Drop, similar to like Pikmin 1 and 2. Maybe it gets that sort of treatment. I could see Prime 2 and 3 coming to Switch. I could see those happening. I could see Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake happening. I think that's pretty realistic. If Monolith Soft decides to do it, Xenoblade Chronicles X. There could still be Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD, although I think those are going to get proper remasters on the Switch 2 instead. That's what I've been believing for the past year or two, ever since they didn't drop them in 2022, when there was an absence of Tears of the Kingdom that year, or any Zelda release for that matter. So, I do believe Twilight Princess and Wind Waker will be Switch 2, but they could still happen on Switch. So, a lot of the stuff remaining for Switch is stuff that I believe is, remasters, remakes, ports. I don't think we're going to get a lot of new games. Metroid Prime 4 obviously is a Switch game. It's going to release on Switch, but that is also going to be a Switch 2 game. I think it's going to release during the Switch 2 generation, as well as Thousand Year Door. So I'm thinking Switch 2 is going to have probably a less of a lead up time to release than even Switch had. So Switch had 4.5 months. Let's just round it up to 5. That's already a pretty short reveal to release. But I'm thinking Switch 2 might have like 3.5 to 4 months reveal to release. So they can announce Switch 2 in March and release it in like June or July, Now, if I was placing bets, I would say a March announcement for a September release. That's kind of what the general consensus seems to be. But I do think it could release earlier in the summer. I don't think it's out of the question. And they could always announce the system in January or February as well. But this is off topic. We're talking about games here. Games that can release on Switch 2. I'm going to dip a little bit into 2025 here. Like first half of 2025. I consider that a part of like the launch year, So, I believe Switch 2 is going to come in the summer, like I said. And considering it's probably going to come in the summer, I don't know if you do 3D Mario as a launch title, as a summer game. I feel like that's going to be a holiday game. So if Switch 2 were to launch in holiday, that's when 3D Mario would launch. But I think 3D Mario is going to launch in holiday. That's got to be their holiday title. So what could be the launch title? I think Prime 4 could do it. Ocarina of Time remake would also work. And there has been some hints from Aonuma for Ocarina of Time remake. But I don't know if it's going to happen next year, I feel like that's like a 2025 or 2026 kind of thing, along with like Mario Kart 9, Animal Crossing, etc. But yeah, I don't know if they launch a 3D Mario in the summer. I mean, obviously 3D Mario is a better launch title than Metroid Prime 4, but I feel like 3D Mario kind of has to be the launch title, but Prime 4 could be the launch title as well. If they market it right, if it's a big game, if it's a big deal, you know, if Metroid breaks out of its shell, if Metroid Prime 4 is the Breath of the Wild of its series, it can absolutely be the launch title. It could be the Breath of the Wild for the Switch 2 and ensure the success, but I just don't know if Metroid Prime 4 is going to have that kind of staying power. But there is a lot of different things suggesting that Prime 4 is going to have some ambition to it. So there's going to be probably multiplayer, considering there is a woman, I forgot her name, but she is working at Retro Studios and she works on multiplayer maps for like games such as Rogue Company, and she's working with Prime 4. So why would she be working with Prime 4? First guess is multiplayer. Maybe there's going to be some kind of online multiplayer mode alongside the campaign. That would be cool, and I think that would bring in a larger audience. Since Nintendo doesn't really have a multiplayer first-person shooter game, I think Prime 4 could be it. If they do it right, of course. But it is a little bit hard to believe, but I do think it could happen. Like I said, Ocarina of Time Remake would also suffice as a launch title. Mario Kart 9, if they had that ready, although I'm very doubtful that'll be next year. I think that would be more of a 2025 kind of thing as well. Smash Bros would work, but Smash Bros isn't anytime soon. We know that. So I really think it's 3D Mario or Metroid Prime 4. Those are the realistic launch titles. And I just don't know if they launch a 3D Mario earlier than the holiday. It's hard to believe. Maybe in like August or September. But if it's an early summer release, I feel like it's going to be Prime 4. And the Switch 2 is going to be very reliant on backwards compatibility. And, you could play your games on Switch 2, your Switch games. You could play your whole backlog. You don't have to go back to your Switch. It's kind of a similar strategy, I guess, to what PS5 is doing. PS5 hasn't had a lot of big exclusives until 2023. And PS5's been doing very well based on the trust factor between Sony and the consumer. And I feel like Nintendo having backwards compatibility could help them launch their system along with, Prime 4, 3D Mario, all the games that I think are going to come. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Switch 2. That's about it.